You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. The city of Berkeley, the city council there voted to end all traffic stops for low-level offenses such as not wearing a seatbelt or an expired license. Police will also need written consent for vehicle searches except under circumstances where consent is not legally required, and cops can also no longer conduct warrantless searches of people on parole or probation. The city council also voted to fire police officers that have published racist content online. These reforms follow protests against racist police violence across California and the country last summer. Common damn sense, Greg Carr. I mean, part of the problem that we have when we talk about these incidents is that they take place on basic stuff. The brother in Dallas, who was just Plano, Texas, who's just walking in the snow, who gets arrested. Thank God he wasn't killed. You take, of course, what happened with Elijah McClain. We could go on and on and on. It's these basic traffic stops that have Walter Scott that have led to folks being killed because these cops lose their damn mind.
Absolutely, Roland. I mean, and you teased the story by talking about what Berkeley may be doing and what defunding the police may look like. One of the things that they're adopting is they're investing in a specialized care unit to respond to mental health calls. In other words, they're going to move some of that budget from policing to that, and also transferring traffic enforcement duties to trained civilians. This is critical. And you know, it is common sense, but when you allow the power of enforcement for things that shouldn't require the use of deadly force or anything like that, you turn that over to somebody with a gun on their hip, you've set yourself up for this kind of thing. And so Berkeley is indeed giving us a window into the types of repurposing of resources that's what is meant by defund the police. Finally, in Alabama, we see in their state legislature, they're trying to pass some even more stringent laws. Mike Harriet was just reporting on this, attacking journalists and other people. They want to increase the type of violence. Ultimately, public policy is really about enforcing a cultural view, a world view. And in Berkeley, they seem to have the worldview of human beings, and they're taking a step in the right direction.
Reese, it's called law enforcement. And this, what this does is say, focus your damn resources on real crimes and not petty crap.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at it, a vast majority of crimes in this country go unsolved. So while people are out there harassing the hell out of somebody with a broken tail light or, you know, not having a seatbelt on, there's somebody out somewhere knocking somebody upside their head and getting away with it. And so the priorities are all messed up. So, yeah, absolutely. I think it's great steps. And I think that these are tangible, you know, wins that people who like the sloganeering of defund the police can point to and say, this is exactly what we mean, because that's what should be happening. We have so many of these horror stories where people are having a mental episode, families are dealing with somebody having that, they call the police and their family member ends up dead. And now it just escalates the situation. Philando Castile is another person who was involved in a traffic stop and he was murdered from that. We have so many of these examples. Sandra Bland pulled over for what? Failure to signal change or something stupid like that. And next thing you know, she's dead in her jail cell. And so to Dr. Carr's point, if you have somebody who isn't gut trigger happy or who isn't on a power trip, who thinks they can pull somebody over, particularly a black person, and harass the shit out of them and get their rocks off of, you know, wielding their authority. If you have a trained person who's really just there to handle the traffic stop and that's it, then we might see some different outcomes. So this is a great step forward, but we need a bigger emphasis on mental health and the mental health responses. And we need a bigger emphasis on enforcing safety. And that does not require an armed response in a vast majority of these cases.
And this point here, there are some other cities that are taking action. This is for all the people out there whining and complaining. We don't like the phrase defund the police. Well, fine. Call it whatever hell you want to call it, but change the damn laws so you don't have these cops running amok, using the power of the gun and the badge, killing people. That's the real issue here, Erica.
Mm-hmm. Sure, and that person could be them or their family members. When you think about the state of California, there's only 6% of a Black population there, but Black folks account for 16% of the traffic stops. That is crazy. And then also, I'm thinking about all of the red light cameras, all of the cameras that we just have actively throughout our municipalities. Damn, send somebody a ticket. And if the ticket, not a ticket that has a financial burden on it, but perhaps a ticket where somebody could go and complete some type of community service to help uplift another community. There's so many other different ways to approach this. But as Reese has said, and Dr. Carr has said, that when we continue to know how this whole enforcement, entrapment, what it was birthed out of slave patrols, the absolute authority to be deputized and control Black bodies. When that is admitted, and then there is a breaking from that, then I believe that we can actually conceptualize and actually do and actually have laws like this in several other municipalities, because it's definitely something that's necessary. Locking people up. We are a country that has the most folks incarcerated throughout the entire globe. These are common sense solutions that need to be adopted across municipalities.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions,